Hello and welcome to the agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. In this program today, we will discuss the continuing face-off between India and China at the line of actual control, with no end in sight. It is now clear that the military face-off at the Ladakh border is not going to end in the near future. With China refusing to budge, the Indian Army has mobilized logistics that will be required for its troops at the line of actual control during the harsh winter, which will set in about a month's time. The winter period in the mountains of Ladakh sees temperature drop substantially to up to minus 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. And according to reports, some 50,000 Indian troops could be stationed in the Ladakh sector of the LAC to meet any contingency. We will analyze this in the agenda today with our two experts, retired Brigadier Sandeep Thapar and retired Brigadier Vinod Datta. But before we start our conversation, let us have a look at this small report.
With the several rounds of talks on disengagement showing no results because of China's belligerent attitude, the military faced off at the line of actual control in Ladakh is clearly going to be a long haul. This means India will have to station its troops in the inhospitable mountains of Ladakh throughout the upcoming winter. The winters in those mountains are extremely harsh, with temperature dropping to even up to minus 30 degrees Celsius and strong icy winds blowing. Therefore, special arrangements are to be made for the soldiers who will be deployed there in such extreme weather conditions. Realizing this, the Indian Army has already started sending the required special winter clothing and tents, along with the portable heaters and rations, before the road access is cut or restricted because of heavy snowfall. To augment the supplies, even the heavy lift transport aircraft and helicopters have been pressed into service. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, in his statements made in Parliament, said the troops are being provided with special winter clothing, specialised tents required for those heights, along with weapons and ammunition. Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane visited forward locations in Ladakh on September 3rd to review the Army's operational preparedness and the logistics arrangements for sustenance of forces through the winter. India has done mirror deployment of its troops, matching the numbers from the Chinese side, which has reportedly deployed around 50,000 personnel, along with military assets like 150 aircrafts, tanks, heavy artillery, missiles and air defense systems. Corps commander rank officers have so far met 5 times but failed to break the deadlock. They will now be meeting for the first time after the Indian Army swiftly moved and occupied key heights to prevent the People's Liberation Army from grabbing Indian territory on the southern bank of Pangong So in a stealthy midnight move on August 29. The Indian Army had also taken control of key heights overlooking the PLA's deployment on the Finger 4 ridge line on the northern bank of the Pangong So, where rival soldiers are deployed barely a few hundred meters from each other. Bureau Report.
So let's welcome our guests, Brigadier Thapar and Brigadier Datta. Welcome to the program, sirs.
Thank you, Vedaji.
So my first question to Brigadier Thapar. So you heard Mr. Rajnath Singh, Defence Minister, in Parliament today. He is now talking about a long haul. I mean, the indications are very clear. Earlier, there used to be talk about the disengagement process is in progress, but now there is no such talk. So what does it mean?
See, as I see it, the talks between the External Affairs Minister with his Chinese counterpart in Moscow, basically there was no breakthrough in the talks, but there is nothing negative also. It was just a talk of going back to existing protocols. And thereafter, the Chinese statements having come that we are not at fault and India is at fault. Putting the onus, the blame onto us, whereas the Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh, made it very clear this is the historical background. This is what has happened, and we are at not fault. And he also clarified very clearly that we are not moving back till Chinese do X, Y, Z. He put back the owner's responsibility. So we've got a kind of a fait accompli, both sides not really agreeing. But the good point is that both of them are not exactly waiting for a fight to happen. Both are trying to resolve the issue. So, like we predicted earlier, it's a long haul. We will sit there. If nothing happens in the next month or so after the winter set in, the campaigning season is on for the next year. And so at the moment, what I see, very tenuous peace exists. I don't rule out a feasibility of a one-odd skirmish also happening, though the chances are decreasing by the day.
Okay, dear Brigadier Datta, if I compare the situation to 2002 Operation Parakram, eyeball to eyeball on the LOC and IV, is it seeming like that?
Yeah, it is going to be like that only because there also the troops had moved quite close to the international boundary, and almost plans were chalked out. The forward dumping was done. The strike formations had moved ahead, and it was just a matter of go. And because of the intervention of international powers, the situation was controlled. So it is going to be the similar situation, and both the countries are going to spend the better part of the winters. In fact, the whole of winters in bunkers. And as you rightly said, say about 60,000 plus troops. They have been, advanced winter stocking, which has been done. The ammunitions have been, stockpiled, and the troops have been told that you have to dig your heels. And what Rajnath Singh ji had said today in Rajya Sabha, that we are there for a longer haul, and we are not going to, give even an inch. And this statement, this, aggressiveness of India has been conveyed to China, and China somehow has really read the situation right, and it is now, running helter-skelter to save the situation.
So, Brigadier Datta, as a supplementary, how do you see the tone of Raksha Mantri as he spoke today in Rajya Sabha, earlier in Lok Sabha? The tone seems that we are there to take you on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very clear. You see, I'll just take you back to the statement of CDS, General Rawat, when he had given this statement that the military action is also an alternate available to Indian government.
Option available,
and to the Indian Army. And you will appreciate that such statements are being given by such responsible officers only once the government concurrence has been obtained and the node has been there. So India is well prepared, and the kind of movement of senior leaders and senior commanders to the border shows that yes, they are there to review situation, to encourage our troops, and to raise the morale of troops who are just raring to go.
Brigadier Thapar, if I come to you, as we talk about, there are various reports, 50,000, 60,000 troops being deployed at the LAC. But I feel, my guess is that the truth is somewhere else, isn't it? Maybe, and that is maybe strategically important also, not to reveal the exact details, isn't it?
So, are you talking of the numbers?
Yeah, numbers and other assets, also deployment and all other things.
See, we much after 14 Corps was formed, we have enhanced our deployment to considerable levels, and even in normal times, we had adequate number of troops in that place to defend Leh and Ladakh. That much I can tell you without going into specifics.
I'm talking about the LAC. I know they are in the depths, but I'm talking about the now at the LAC.
No, I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
even in normal times, we have more than adequate troops to guard the system. Thereafter, as situation has developed, a mirror deployment has kind of taken place. I'm aware of certain formations which have moved up. We will not discuss the names, but I can tell you that almost an equivalent amount of force has been built up in that place uh, uh, in anticipation of any action. And at the very outset, PLA had brought insufficient troops to inflict any decisive blow. They had mobilized first, they
Right.
had brought a certain amount of troops, but they were not enough they may be a little superiority initially, but we quickly made up our reserves. And now I do not think they, as per my visualization, there is parity between both the troops. So there is no way any action could achieve any decisive result by China. Uh, so if they have to launch something, it has to be a small isolated attack somewhere, hoping for a small tactical victory. That will also be very difficult. I can assure the country and all of you that we have adequate troops to thwart any Chinese misadventure at the moment in Ladakh. Secondly, today this morning's news talked about the BRO having been given instructions that the Leh Manali axis will be closed only for 45 days.
Right.
Instead of the 90 days which generally is closed every year. And BRO is assured that we will make sure that that access stays open the maximum time. So there is no question, no problem of logistic build-up also. That is also been restricted from 90 days, no logistic supplies to 45 days. So we are well prepared. We've calculated our requirements. We've stocked ourselves, and our operational logistics are matching our deployment. So we are ready for any eventuality.
So, Brigadier Thapar, if we say we are focusing right now on Ladakh, so is there a possibility of maybe China opening Arunachal or Sikkim? There could be maybe some activity there, maybe taking us off guard.
See, if they open Sikkim and Arunachal, that means it's a full-scale war. Yeah, I mean, they are, yes, they could carry out a certain deployment, basically to make sure that we don't thin out our troops from there and bring it this side.
No, I'm not
or
talking.
to-
I'm not talking about military action. I'm talking about maybe transgressions, maybe to pinprick India or something.
Or transgressions will keep happening, but let me assure you, even in Arunachal and Sikkim, we've as per my inputs, we have moved, taken a deployment which is close to the LAC, so that the China cannot carry out any misadventure there also. So our troops are alert. Some kind of op alert is there. As it is, this is the period, October, November is the op alert period, where all the troops move to their defenses and occupy them and rehearse their drills. So we are there till snow forces us back and the forward post becomes untenable. So even there we've taken our necessary precautions. Yes, China could do some few transgressions there, but that is normal as it happens throughout the year. Certain transgressions both sides do. So that is an ongoing activity.
Okay, Brigadier Datta, as Brigadier Thapar talked about Leh Manali route to be made operational for maximum period, and China has, as we know, we have talked about it, that it has been building infrastructure, good infrastructure over last maybe decade or so, but we have been kind of catching up. So is that now maybe putting us in some at a disadvantage or so?
No, not disadvantage. You see, we were always, as a second mover, because if you see the infrastructure which China has developed across the border, it is of very high standard. And the class 70 roads, class 40 roads, and the bridges they have. In fact, India was lagging behind.
Yeah.
But then it was, in our appreciation, we thought that we must improve our infrastructure, because if we have to match up with their, operational logistics and their mobility. So what we have done is, earlier we had only these two axes. One was the the axis which was Srinagar-Leh highway, and the second axis was the Manali, Upshi, Pang, and Leh. And since they were closed for a substantial period, now we have also opened another third axis, which is called the Padam axis. And the advantage of Padam axis is that firstly it is 200 kilometers short, as compared to 626 kilometers, which is the Manali axis.
Right.
And secondly, it is going to be an all-weather road where it will be open throughout the year. So once you reduce 200 kilometers in mountains, you are achieving a substantial velocity of logistics. And third point is that this axis is not prone to any kind of attacks, be it China or Pakistan. So our logistic buildup is really, it has become very, very strong, which is a cause of worry to China. And the most important is the air bridge between Chandigarh and Leh, Ladakh, Thois, and various other airstrips which are being developed.
Right.
And if you see mainland China, they have to do a very long haulage. Of course, they have already started dumping their stocks, ammunition, as well as rations.
So, as China has been worried about how India will access, Brigadier Datta, I'll ask a supplementary. So, China has been worried that how India will access, make logistics available. So, it's a message to them that don't worry, we are capable of moving all assets and logistics and other things, isn't it?
Yeah. There is no doubt. There is no doubt, and China is well aware of our. You see, in today's warfare, surprise and deception has totally changed. You see, gone are the days when जब हम young officers हुआ करते थे, तब जवानों को educate किया करते थे कि ये मत लिखो यहाँ बर्फ पड़ रही है, ये मत लिखो हम कहाँ हैं, और today even if a vehicle moves, you can pick it up from a satellite.
Right.
So surprise and deception have totally changed. They have assumed new forms and manifestation. So now the surprise element has to be redefined, and China is well aware that we have stocked our forward bases right up to 1 year of rations, ammunition, kerosene oil, which is the lifeline in mountains, and the kind of troops which have been moved up, and they are sitting right, and in some situations they are into eyeball to eyeball contact, what we used to have generally in LOC.
Yeah.
So we are keeping an hawk eye on the Chinese army.
But Brigadier Thapar, as now this has been an unmanned area, we didn't have troops there deployed. We had this in LOC and we had this in Kargil, LOC again in Siachen. Now we are being stretched out. So how do you see that situation?
See, we were not deployed there because we had those certain agreements and protocols with China,
right,
93 and 96, where it was decided between both sides that we will, yes, we have a difference of perception in LAC, which we shall sit down and resolve. Till then, we shall not sit on the borders and bang on the LAC and certain protocols on patrolling and other things. So that was the reason. Now that we've been let down by China, we've come to know that for them, settling LAC means settling on their terms,
right,
and not on the
mutual
traditional
terms, not on the mutual
border boundaries, the 59 and the 61 line demarcation and the maps exchange and all that. So they keep changing this thing. So now we have per se, we've gone and deployed ahead. Earlier there was ITBP, now we reinforce them. So we are fairly forward. Now, I also want to, your last question to Brigadier Datta, I wanted to add that yes, India has strategically made a bit of mistake vis-a-vis China in the 90s and early 2000s, that we did not take the threat very seriously, despite knowing that China is enemy number one. So our strategic communication network suffered. You would recall the 73 or 76 strategic roads. I've been hearing about them from for the past 20 years that they are being built and built, but we've not been able to build them. Whereas China, especially in Arunachal and Sikkim and places, they have their road heads coming right up to the company, forward company posts. And we've not been able to connect even our battalions. But all that is changing. I
But
wish that had happened earlier. All that changing, but definitely not in Ladakh, because there are only two axes here, and both are well developed. But even forward up to the posts, we are still at places we are required to walk, which should not happen normally. In fact, our development this side is what angered China also. And I wish very soon we make all our roads are on communication so that we can sustain our troops, and our troops don't have to go through the walking and that. Now, there were times you had to cross the rivers on elephants and walk for 4 days to reach your post.
right.
Mercifully, those things are changing now.
But Brigadier Thapar, as you mentioned about that India not building infrastructure, there was in fact a perverted strategy in the China study group that we should not build road so that Chinese don't come in, isn't it? So it was a very
See,
perverted actually policy.
See, I agree. Somewhere we went wrong. Whether we did not visualize the threat, or we misread it, or we said that if we build the road, Chinese will use it.
Yeah.
So now we are realizing that we should have built the roads for our deployment to be more effective.
So Brigadier Datta, as Brigadier Thapar was also mentioning about LAC, about the perception of LAC. Now the entire issue boils down to patrolling. Our patrolling area has been limited, constrained. So that has to be restored, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. You see, what has happened is these grab actions which PLA or the Chinese army have done, and they are restricting the movement of our patrols, was a takeoff point. Because what happens is the LAC is, it's almost about 3,500 kilometers, and since it is not, demarcated and delineated, it becomes very difficult to, hold every piece of ground. So what generally is done is that the patrols are sent at regular intervals so that they can dominate the area, and, they can report if there is any kind of intrusion or something like that. They also collect the intelligence on their way when they are conducting such operations. What has happened is, as the policy of China is that they are not going to go in for any kind of major offensive, or they will come like like Chor and Ochakka, that they will come and sit in some place, and then they will keep quiet, and then they will negotiate with it. So now Indian government has also decided to be aggressive on the border, and now the kind of actions which we have shown in Blacktop area or in the Chushul Bowl, it has really surprised China. And now the entire LAC is being dominated by surveillance, by patrols, and by various other means. And the entire right up to Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal, Uttarakhand, all borders have been now alerted, and the troops are already in operational alert mode. And it is going to be very difficult for China, though China is looking for some kind of loopholes, other than Ladakh, because in army they say it is no point reinforcing your failure. So he is looking for some new places where he can carry out some intrusion.
So Brigadier Datta, if as you mentioned that Indian Army troops are alert and maybe under tense situation, and China is also playing songs and Bhangra and something like this, maybe to entertain them. How do you see that?
No, it is basically a psyops, propaganda. If you remember 1971, even Pakistan used to say कि आज हमारी फौजें सुबह का नाश्ता अमृतसर में करेंगी और दोपहर का खाना इंशाल्लाह जमा मस्जिद में होगा दिल्ली में, and you know what fate they met. Similarly, if they are playing Punjabi songs, we should also, play some kind of music which is soothing to their ears. And I'm sure our people are more cultural oriented, cultural echeloned than Chinese. And I mean, these small pinpricks are not going to, demotivate our troops. Our troops are very, very motivated. And the kind of leadership which we have in our army, there is no parallel in the world. And, most of the armies, even the Chinese army, I was reading a report, after Galwan incident, and such kind of actions which they have seen on border, they always say, yes, we should train our troops like that. And even the Pakistan army, they dread our leadership, and our military commanders are just phenomenal.
We are running out of time. One last question to Brigadier Thapar. So, as Brigadier Datta was mentioning about our troops are highly motivated, and I think Chinese are motivating them further through these songs. Do you agree?
I didn't get you, Ajay. I didn't get your question.
My question is that, as Brigadier Datta mentioned, that Indian troops are very highly motivated to take on China, and Chinese are maybe helping them by motivating them further through songs.
Yeah, who minds Punjabi songs? They are always welcome at sitting at finger 3 and 4. If you can get some good music, the rest requirements, the Indian Army is looking after good food and everything. There's a good view, and if you get good music from the Chinese side, as they say, "Sone pe sohaga." It actually shows frustration on their part. Their psychological warfare is also so amateurish and silly.
Correct. Right.
Some of their videos which they are putting on social media, showing their troops doing all kind of activities.
Training.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I would have expected China, which adopted fighting war under information conditions way back 20 years ago, to be a little more refined in their information operations, but unfortunately they are not.
So very crude Chinese army, they are playing all those tricks and deceit. Thank you so much for participating in this debate, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I will be back with another important topic tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.